When if I came and said, you hadn't got to where I am, so you ain't shit. He became somebody who he was not. That is not who he was. That ain't who he is. He became this person for the internet.
It's almost been 3 weeks since the Anton Daniels fallout with Corey Holcomb. But what happens when you're hated and you got people who just dislike you? They start doing these deep dives. We've already seen them with Corey Holcomb and TMZ, but ultimately we're also seeing it with Anton Daniels. And you have people out there who are alleging that Anton Daniels is not only a fake ass person, that Anton Daniels is somewhat of a scammer.
Damn.
You have certain content creators like Tommy Sotomayor, who's also getting in the mix, blaming Anton Daniels for
picture of Anton Daniels and his wife 15 years ago. That is the same man that's telling you he big money Mike and you ain't if you ain't got the same kind of money as he got.
Not only does Tommy Sotomayor accuse Anton Daniels of stealing his talking points and trying to be like him, he's also saying that Anton Daniels was not this way 15 years ago. 15 years ago, Anton Daniels was out there, holding a sign, trying to give free hugs in the city of Detroit, trying to build his platform. And to be honest, I can't really hold that against him, because when you're trying to find your way as a content creator, you're doing a whole bunch of different things, just trying to find your niche. People change niches, trying to find their way and trying to ultimately find their audience. So I really won't hold that against him. But what I will hold a content creator accountable for is presenting yourself to be something
that you ain't.
You are not. And if you're a person 15 years ago who didn't have money and somehow you got rich by just making controversial content,
and your ass ain't still out there giving free hugs,
it
nigga,
still by default does not qualify you for being a business person or to give financial advice, because the money that you got it from being good here on the YouTube platform. And I can say the same thing about myself. When I got into YouTube, I was already a graduate in biology. I was in medical school. So I was never a financial expert or a YouTube expert or anything like that. And I have never tried to portray myself as a YouTube expert or a financial expert or a business expert. I am involved in business, but I would not say that I am an expert for somebody in business. And Anton Daniels, from what I understand, is a controversial YouTuber, and he may have money, but that does not qualify him to be a financial expert or a business expert or even a YouTube expert. What it does qualify him is a content creator who understands how to make a lot of money, but that would not qualify him or give him the right to say that he can teach other people how to do the same thing.
Damn.
Then there is more criticisms from our good brother LTTV.
Anton had folks buying into the Patreon, the Bag Chasers Patreon, building his YouTube channel, selling this facade that he's actually rich, having people buy into this rich, giving him money so he can call other broke.
Anybody got a course, a Patreon to sell, bro? That's how they're making their money, bro. Not from what? Because if they're also successful in teaching people how to make money do something, which this is not always the case, but it happens to be a trend within YouTubers and Instagram people and so-called influencers, right? They're selling a course on how to make all this money, right? To be oh so successful, but yet they're not actually using and following the steps that are in the course to make them rich and successful. No, instead how they're actually getting rich, but a false view of success is probably a better way to put that. But y'all know what I'm saying, is by them selling you the course and the Patreon.
But it's the fake it till you make it playbook. You come online, you act like you're so grand, you're someone bigger than you are. Folks buy into the facade. You're the big boss, folk.
Right. And all you have to do it is be able to sell it, bro. You got to be a business. You got to be a marketer. You got to be a door-to-door salesman, basically. You know what I'm saying? Someone who can sell a product.
People take your advice, take your lead because they think you're something that you're not. I'm like, how do folks fall for this time and time again? It doesn't make sense to me.
Because they're good at selling an image.
Now, Anton Daniels, I believe on Patreon, has a program called A Bag Chasers. This is where he gives some level of financial advice. He gives coaching and tips on how to be rich. Now, this is the problem that a lot of content creators get themselves into. Because they have an audience, they decide to, say, hey, listen, because of my platform is successful, what I can do for you is teach you also how to be successful, of course, for a really good fee.
Mm-hmm.
And many people in the black community just look for clout. So they see Anton Daniels doing something, and obviously he's successful, so he can help.
You can do everything right on this internet stuff, bro, and you get no results still. You know
with my platform. A lot of people can grow a platform.
There's a luck factor.
And do it in a very interesting way. But that does not mean that your platform will grow.
Cause somebody else could post that your same video on their shit and get way more views and likes of whatever than you.
It's almost like Michael Jordan. I mean, he's the greatest basketball player ever in life, but that wouldn't mean that he is also the greatest teacher. And that's Michael Jordan, who actually was great at what he did. Anton Daniels is a excellent YouTube personality, but that does not mean that he's an excellent YouTube creator. Those are different, okay? Being an excellent YouTube personality means that, hey, he could be a person that you love to hate. But then again, it doesn't qualify him to give business advice or to help you any kind of level of business. Because from what I understand, Anton did not become financially successful until blowing up on YouTube, which is a very similar story to somebody such as myself. I had some moderate success, as a person that worked, at a, Fortune 500 company, but I was never a CEO. I was never in high level management. So again, I cannot coach to that. But then here is what we also hear.
What is a MAGA moocher? Well, it's somebody who took Donald Trump's controversial takes, tried to use their social media account, be ridiculously, and I mean ridiculously controversial, and thinking that they were going to grow their social media career by ending up on Fox News.
I want to give a shout out to the brother Ricky Manor, because he actually did this video a long time ago before any of this stuff came out. And it was actually on February 14, 2025, almost a year to this day. And the name of the video was called Exposing Anton Daniels, the Rise of Fake Millionaires and Mega Grifters.
Damn.
In this video, he would come out with some interesting evidence to show that a lot of these guys are not really, let's say, conventionally rich, even if they are making money on the platform underneath controversial politics or being with MAGA and things like that. It does not mean that they are financially successful. And he would go back by proving this.
Then here goes Anton Daniels' LinkedIn experience. Let's see. The longest job he kept was what? 4 years? 4 years? So let's see here. Team leader, quality control. That don't sound like a millionaire to me. Help desk agent, web designer, and developer. Perform troubleshooting of hardware, software problems over the phone. Oh, call center agent. Okay.
Nigga know how to talk good.
Okay. This doesn't look like a millionaire's resume. I wouldn't think that he would be somebody. Where's the financial investing here? That's not on the resume.
In this case, he would go back and look at Anton Daniels' LinkedIn history. Now, again, it was public to a certain degree. I'm not sure as to if it's still up there, but he looks at Anton Daniels' personal history. And the question is, does Anton Daniels in the past have a history of financial advice, have a history of consulting? Did he ever have consulting roles in big businesses?
No.
And from what I can gather, the answer is
you don't have to have all that. You don't have to work to consult with a business and all. You don't have to do all that to know what you're talking about, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can give I don't know it all, but hell, I could teach the average person how to manage their money better than what the hell they doing.
Is no.
Woo!
At the same time, a guy like Anton Daniels goes around telling everybody else how they are poor and they are not on his level, when in actuality, being polarizing is what got Anton Daniels the opportunity financially as to what he has today. And so now if you are seeing these guys selling a facade that, number one, they're rich, number one, that they're wealthy, or number three, that they can help you become rich or wealthy if you would just sign up for their bag chasers or anything like that, what I would say is typically these are the people who are not really credited with having, financial success. Because let me tell you something, anybody who is really rich, anybody who is really successful does not go around trying to teach you how to do it for a fee. All right. I make pretty decent amount of money on my platforms and have done so for the last 4 to 5 years, consistently have been doing very well in this business for a decade. I don't even sell my services. The reason why I don't sell my services is because it's a time cost for me, because I could be doing something else. It might not even make any money right now, but I could be doing something else. And anybody who is rich, for the most part, if somebody knows that information, they don't want to sell it to you for $1,000 an hour or for $500 or to sell you a course how to do it, because you don't see many rich people do that kind of stuff.
They don't got time for it.
Millionaires, and I'm not talking about online people, because yes, you can get rich online, but a lot of people are chasing the bag online. Literally, they build a platform just so they can get offline bookings, just so they can get people to go head on and consult with them. But that doesn't mean that these people are legit business folks. From what I understand is that Anton Daniels struggled heavily in business up until the YouTube career took off. And it's great that your YouTube career took off, but it does not remove your other business failures that you had previously. That's just the case. And so now you're selling yourself that you can help people, get their game up and get their money up the same way that he's promising these women that, hey, if you deal with me, as a content creator, I can give you the quote unquote game. And then what you can do
is give me some cheeks.
Take this game and leverage it into your own career. And even with that, I
give me some
honestly
cheeks
never
at
seen
the time.
Anton Daniels bring out creators that become heavyweights. In my career, I have, just a long list of guys that I've helped on the platform or introduced to a bigger audience who are doing very well. We can talk about Kevin Samuels. We can talk about the Pocket Watching with AJT. We can talk about the lead attorney. And these are guys I've never asked anything for. I just knew that these guys were going to hit, and they did hit. And it's just many other guys that have come through. If you want to say the O'Shea Duke Jackson pipeline, the Black Manosphere pipeline, there's been many, more than 100. I can probably guess, right? But if you look at Anton, he's never really had creators that come out that are just like associated with his brand that do very well, simply because the way that he does stuff, which is polarizing content, which is live stream, which is chopping up streams and reposting them. And then because you learn that method from Just Pearly Things, and that's giving you, a lot of money.
Everyone does that.
Money because you're uploading a lot.
It really got to come down to like the person themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you look at all the most, as far as like a streamer wise, and they just cut it up and post the clips, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the era we're in. You gotta be favorable to the algorithm as well.
It doesn't mean that method will work for anybody else. And again, if you're gonna get a financial advice or business advice,
your content has to be, you know what I'm saying, hit that algorithm.
You typically don't take that advice from YouTubers. You take that advice from people who are in certain industries. Everything is industry specific. Investments and stocks and all of that don't come from YouTubers or Bitcoins. They come from investing your money into people who actually do that for a living.
Real
such
businesses.
As BlackRock, or a person that works with Fidelity or Charles Schwab or Merrill Lynch. People who do that, right, professionally for a living, not people who do reaction videos like myself or celebrity. We can.
That don't mean you can't know what you're talking about, though.
Those kind of platforms, I get it. Bag chasers, in my honest opinion, is another word for just like.
But the thing is, somebody that's working at Charles Schwab is that's their full time focus. You know what I'm saying?
Hustlers.
So they're gonna be more sharp, of course. Yeah.
And people who professionally do the jobs are in the industry. They are not people.
But I guarantee you, bro, if you go sit down with a financial advisor, bro, they're gonna put you on a track, especially if you don't know nothing about nothing, bro. They're gonna put you on a track that's I'm not gonna say bare minimum, but it's not something super advanced, bro. Unless you are a millionaire who's trying to invest and do more than the average person, you know?
Who are online professing to be.
The average person just needs to be able to set themselves up for the future. You know what I'm saying?
These sorts of gurus.
Millionaires that are trying to study analytics and balance sheets and whatnot, they're actually trying to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to make more money, but the average person needs long-term stability. You know what I'm saying?
Again, this is what I'm saying about Anton. I'm not trying to say that Anton is
Y'all know what I'm saying.
scam artist or Anton is fraudulent, but I will say is that he is not a financial expert or a business expert. Business experts, for the most part, do not have time to sell their services to help you become an expert. Why would they introduce the competition to you? They don't. They're only an expert because they want to collect more money off of you. And most people that do give out information typically don't want to charge you for it. They're already in their way in life, and you can.
No, they work with people who are like-minded in the same space as them, who they have access to. They don't just go to anybody. Of course,
mentor,
yeah.
and you can give them some level of value. But usually that value cannot be exchanged in just hard cash because they already have hard cash. Why do they need it from you?
Woo!
So guys, what do you think?
Yeah, it's more than just buying a course. Like, you could buy a course. Like, I'm taking a real estate course right now to get my real estate license, bro. That ain't teaching me everything that's in it, bro. After I complete this and pass the test, and I'm still not gonna know a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It takes time to put that. You gotta put the time in, year after year. You know what I'm saying? And actually get the experience. You know what I'm saying? To know what the fuck you're doing or whatever the hell. Y'all know what I'm saying, man. Hey, we on the road to 100K, okay? If you want to hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap that dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at y'all the next one, and I'm gone. T-Y P the 9.